what's next for the Democratic coalition that Harris has built, as well as what's next for Republicans, who I'm sure were kind of caught off guard by this just as much as the Harris campaign was caught off guard by this.
So I think the Harris campaign, and as did the Biden campaign, were looking back to the Obama coalition, trying to reassemble that kind of coalition. It was enough for Joe Biden in 2020, but that was a unique election during the height of the pandemic. 4 years later, here in 2024, it wasn't enough. Kamala Harris and the Democrats weren't able to reassemble the Obama coalition of young voters and people of color and bring those key constituencies together for a Harris-Walz victory. It doesn't mean that the Democrats should abandon the Obama coalition, but the Democrats need to be thinking hard about how can they build, not just reassemble, but kind of build it forward. What kinds of messages, what kinds of policies, what should be emphasized? Because the issues that resonated with voters that created a winning coalition for Donald Trump were not winning issues and messages, right? The Trump and the Republicans won that battle, and they won it pretty soundly. So I think Democrats will be looking to, pick up, right? I think there are a number, if you think about like in the battleground states where volunteers and not just consultants, but like paid staff have moved into those battleground states. So I think they're still, I'm sure, processing these results while they're packing up and trying to figure out what the next step is. So I think it'll be a process for Democrats. And I teach at BGSU the political parties and voter behavior class. And there are these periods in American history where one party is sort of ascendant and strong. The other party is a bit in the wilderness. The other party in the wilderness eventually figures out how to regain its strength. And there tends to be almost some leapfrogging, right? What's happened in recent years is we've had a little bit more of almost like a hopscotch situation. You might think about it as what I call pendulum politics, where voters, we expect things quickly. We expect quick results. After all, we can quickly get all kinds of information on our phones in an instant, right? Or on our computers. In politics, solving and tackling the big challenges that America faces, whether those are challenges at the border or whether those are economic challenges, those things take more time. Instantaneous results are not possible with such difficult issues. And so what seems, if we look just at the presidency, right? 2 years of Clinton, 2 years of George W. Bush, 2 years of Barack Obama, term, I should be saying term. One term for Donald Trump, one term for Joe Biden, one term for Donald Trump. So it's like a pendulum that swings back and forth. And so I don't expect that this necessarily means Republicans will be winning for years to come. Democrats, whatever party's in the wilderness, eventually they get their act together and figure it out. And part of it is the parties themselves. And part of it, I think, is just Americans being impatient and punishing whoever is the party in power and sort of reacting. And a presidential election is often a referendum on that party that holds the White House. And in 2024, it was no different than in 2020, no different than in 2016.